This is basically just the case of the new boss coming in, overthrowing everything, blowing up the whole scene, and just holding people accountable, and people hate that. Welcome back to the show. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. First topic, an attorney for the Epstein victims is claiming Trump is the only high-profile figure to help prosecute Epstein. Roll the clip.
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. I can tell you that I talked to President Trump back in 2009, and several times after that. He didn't think that it was a hoax then. In fact, he helped me. He got on the phone. He told me things that were helping our investigation. Now, our investigation wasn't looking into him, but he was helping us then.
Oh, so is he looking for a pardon too? There's just so much more evidence and people coming out of the woodwork suggesting that Trump had absolutely nothing to do with the whole Epstein ring than the evidence showing that he did, you know? Anytime somebody shows you something, it's always like, oh, Trump had a party with Epstein in the early 90s before he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for being a weirdo. But yeah, I don't know why Trump fumbled the whole Epstein files situation so bad. Like we've said, it's the worst thing that Trump's done in this administration so far. His second time around, it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody really knows why he's fumbling it so bad, but I still think the guy's cooking something behind the scenes. These things take time. You know, if you want to bring down the entire deep state for something like this, you need to get all your ducks in a row, people, and you need to make sure everything is super dialed in. It's not just I'm back in office, so I'm just releasing the files and we're getting everybody on everything. No. Everything's got to be ironclad, your I's dotted, your T's crossed, just super streamlined to where it's irrefutable that, oh yeah, we're taking down all these people and there's nothing they can do about it. There's just no case that could be made against us taking you down, basically. And I think that's what's going on. I think Trump's cooking. I think all the things Trump's doing behind the scenes right now are all related somehow, and that's why it's taking a little extra long, and that's why he just has to cook a little bit more. But I think the guy's cooking. Let's get on to the next topic here. 1,000 plus HHS employees signed a petition to remove RFK. Roll the clip.
This morning for the HHS secretary's resignation, and those calls coming from inside the Department of Health and Human Services itself. More than 1,000 current and former HHS workers are making this demand in a new letter released just this morning. They say his leadership has, quote, put the health of all Americans at risk. CNN's Meg Terrell is here with much more on this. Tell us more. You've seen this letter. What more are they saying here?
Yeah, so of course this follows a letter that they sent after the shooting at CDC's headquarters in August. And they say they haven't received a direct response from Secretary Kennedy to that letter where they asked him for more protection for HHS employees. And what they said was to stop spreading misinformation that they said put them in danger. Now this letter is explicitly calling for him to resign, and they are asking, if he declines to do so, for the White House and Congress to step in and appoint a new HHS secretary.
First of all, let me know, who do you trust more? RFK and what he's doing, or these 1,000 plus people at Health and Human Services who signed this petition? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and side with RFK, the guy who's actually trying to make people healthier rather than just keep people under some sort of weird chemical-induced food, just like regime, basically. We're basically under a chemical-induced food regime that RFK is trying to get us out of, you know, and just the whole jab situation. Whose opinion do you trust more on jabs? RFK or these HHS employees who have basically been bought and sold under the whole pharmaceutical industrial complex for years, you know? It's just like, I I hope he goes and he just blows up the whole system, right? That's what they're so pissed about. It's like the new boss who comes in and starts holding people accountable. Like, no, you're not going to sit on your phone all day. You're going to be working, and you're not going to be, texting or whatever, on your Instagram. You're going to be working. People hate that, when they have their job and they're just so locked in and, oh, I don't even have to do anything at my job anymore. I just go there, I sit on my phone, I scroll my Instagram, it's great. Like, I barely have to do anything. And then the new boss comes in and is like, yeah, we're basically not letting you use your phone at all. You're going to be working the whole time. And that person's automatically hated, right? Because that person's holding you accountable, letting you know, oh, I'm not going to let you slack off and do the same old crap that you've been doing to ruin this business or whatever, or the health and human services, So this is basically just the case of the new boss coming in, overthrowing everything, blowing up the whole scene, and just holding people accountable, and people hate that. Nobody likes to be held accountable anymore. It's the pussification of America. It happened when everybody started getting a trophy and when nobody was keeping score anymore. Nobody had to lose, and there was no accountability because nobody had to lose. And this is what's going on in Health and Human Services. They did a lot of losing lately. It's just a whole loser organization, and RFK is coming in there and completely revamping the whole system. But all right, let's get on to the next topic here. The Epstein victims are claiming they will be releasing their own client list. Go ahead, roll the clip.
Transparency is justice. Release the files, end the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you.
Yeah, good for them. I think it's great that they're going to be doing this and that they're rising up as victims of Epstein and saying, yeah, we're going to be heard and we're going to make our own list and we're going to let people know what we know. Unfortunately, what I think is going to happen is these people will be seen, they'll basically be dismissed as not credible sources. They're not journalists. They're not getting to the bottom of the thing. But, they were in the middle of it. They were in the fire, yet somehow people are still going to find a way to discredit these women. We're living in a sick world when the whole, left-wing believe all women thing, #MeToo happened, 5-6 years ago? And 5 years ago, they were telling you got to believe all women and, whatever they say goes and they would never lie. And now if these women come out with this, they will be immediately, their character and everything will be just dismantled and ridiculed, and they will be completely dismissed. I guarantee you it'll be a blurb in the news for 3 seconds when these women release their list showing, yep, that guy basically, he did weird things to me, this guy assaulted me, blah, 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 and it's going to be taking down a lot of the left-wing figures that people just love, so maybe some right-wing figures too, but I don't know. The list needs to come out. We need to know who it was. I'm on the team. Yeah, go ahead, release the list. I don't think really Trump's involved at all in any sort of nefarious activities. But yeah, good for these women for doing this, but I still don't think they're going to be seen as credible for some weird reason. I'm not on the believe all women bandwagon either. I don't think you believe all of anybody, but I don't think these women are going to come out and lie about who should be on the list, or this list will be some sort of bogus list, but it will be, ridiculed as such. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. A Canada police chief is telling people that if you're ever in a home invasion, go ahead and just comply with the intruder. Roll the clip.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive, and be the best witness possible. This could mean locking yourself in a room away from the perpetrators, hiding, fleeing the home, but don't engage unless absolutely necessary. But as it stands, we know the best defense for most people is to comply. As you've just heard, a number of safety recommendations.
Chase, is Canada cooked or what? As an American seeing that, you just think that, yep, that's Canada these days, just a nothing but a you better comply society. If we're telling you to do something, you gotta comply or we might debank you or whatever, you know? It's just like, what are you telling the people to comply to intruders for? So, oh yeah, if the guy comes in and he tells you to get on the ground and bark like a dog before he pistol whips you, yeah, just do what he says. Just do what he says. You don't want to piss him off, you know, let him steal everything and ransack the house for a couple hours while you just sit there as his hostage. Listen, people, the best defense is a good offense. If you're not sleeping with the firearm basically right next to your bed at all times these days, even if you're not walking around your house with a firearm just on you, especially if you're living in some crappy area, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably going to be sitting seeing in one of these situations, or find yourself in a situation like this to where, oh my God, I don't have anything to fight off this guy, so I have to comply, you know? No, the guy should be telling everybody to get out there, get a firearm, have it next to your bed at all times, whether it's a pistol, shotgun, I don't know, whatever you like the most for self-defense and home defense. You don't go out there and tell your people, oh, just live in fear and comply with whatever the intruder and the criminals want you to do. If you're ever in the situation of you're with a criminal, you do exactly what he does. You never try to fight back, or you never try to be prepared to fight back and to take the upper hand. It's just comply, comply, comply. And that's Canada, and they're cooked. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.